this edition of In the Know, we are diving into polar nights. What is a polar night? Well, it's a phenomenon that happens every year across the Arctic Circle. Some places lose about 4 months of daylight. Darkness, complete darkness for at least 4 months in some places. We're going to explain why with meteorologist Kevin MacKay. But first, I want to show you this stunning shot, satellite imagery over top of North America of the stunning aurora borealis, which of course can most be seen through the Arctic Circle. So with the stunning views, you do have to deal with some dark days ahead. Meteorologist Kevin MacKay joins us. Kevin, it's not just the Arctic Circle that's experiencing darkness. Across the country, we're starting to see less daylight, and those sunsets are becoming earlier and earlier as the winter solstice approaches.
Yeah, I like to think we're in the tail end here. It's the home stretch. Yeah, Newfoundland, you see the sunrise first in the country, but you don't see the earliest sunsets necessarily. Vancouver, yeah, you get the tail end of the daylight in the summer, and in the winter it doesn't last very long. Have a look at some of these sunset times this time of year. Toronto 4:46, while Saskatoon 5:06. That is all depending on where you are in your time zone. One thing you can be sure of, further north you go, less daylight you get. Take Inuvik, for instance. Right now the sun's setting at about 3:30, but it's coming up at noon. And in that 3.5 hours of daylight, it's only going 2 degrees above the horizon. Not a whole lot of warmth to be grabbed from that solar radiation. Now that's because they're in the Arctic Circle. Now the most southern extent of the Arctic Circle, right at the edge, that's where you get 1 day of complete darkness and 1 day of complete daylight in the summer. So that's the summer solstice and the winter solstice. Now let's have a look at a few communities in the Arctic Circle and how many days of complete darkness we get. In Nunavut, a month's worth of darkness. Now on the other side in Nunavut, much the same. But it gets exponentially longer the deeper into the Arctic Circle you go. Have a look at Alert and Resolute. That's where you get over 120 days of darkness, balanced by 120 days of daylight in the summer. You can't really soak all that in, though. You do have to sleep at some point still. Now, on the shortest day of the year, that's the winter solstice, Iqaluit, still half the daylight of Toronto and Montreal, and that is going to be coming up December 21st. So less than a month to go till those days start getting longer again. Now, this whole phenomenon depends on the tilt, the axis of Earth's rotation. 23.5 degrees to be precise. And at this time of year, well, let's look at the winter solstice. That is when it's actually tilted away from the sun. So anywhere above the Arctic Circle, that sunshine is not hitting the surface even at peak daylight hours. So the further north you go, the longer those days are in the summer. The further south you go, the shorter the days are in the summer, and it's reversed in the winter. So take a place at 60 degrees north, for instance. That's, let's say, Hay River, right at the Northwest Territories border. In the summer, your days are 18 hours long. In the winter, you're only getting about 5 hours of daylight. So they have more ground to make up for. So when you look at the spring equinox and the spring solstice, or the fall equinox, you're losing more every day. Got to make up for that ground at some point. So I hope you can get through the next month before it's all uphill from there.